Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Hold on there. It's going to be a little blurry. I feel like I'm going to be just a little blurry.
Damn good coffee and hot.
In the background here. Switching browsers because I'm a little blurry and hot for some reason. Let's do this. Ooh, we're playing with lights and stuff. It's Friday. What do you expect on a Friday? But crap. It's going to be a long Friday. Actually, Friday. It's a good day, right? You're done with work. I'm sorry, folks. I'm all messed up. Today is Friday, March 24th, 2023. Good to have you here. As always, the blurriness in the stream seems to be fixed now. Anyway, can't use Chrome anymore on this particular machine, which is troubling. I don't know what went wrong there. I don't know what happened with Chrome, but I'm not happy about it. Friday. What's in the news? Well, there's a lot of shit to talk about, but not by me. Here in New York, I'm not a big vegetarian, vegan guy. Or I do love animals. I'm a big animal fan of animals. A calf escaped from a slaughterhouse in Brooklyn. About to get killed, turned into steaks and ribs and all that kind of stuff. But he got away. And after a couple of days on a cow on a lamb, calf on a lamb, he found a new home, an adoptive home at a animal rescue place in Jersey. Good news. I'm happy for the calf. Dangerous news if the other calves at the slaughterhouse find out about this, because, listen, everybody will be on the run trying to get their way to freedom. And good for him not to be turned into steaks. Good for our calf friend. I don't know if it's a he or she. I guess it's a cow, not a bull, or a steer. But it was kind of too young to be killed for steaks anyway. But in Seoul, it seems to be kind of a worldwide phenomenon going on. Seoul, Korea, South Korea, zebra on the loose from a zoo, running around the neighborhoods. It's not something you see every day. A zebra running around. Well, you don't see a cow running around you. And in Missouri, a bear is on the loose. Now, they found the bear, and they're sending him to Texas to a zoo that has a moat. Well, the bottom line here is animals are escaping, whether they're escaping from zoos or slaughterhouses. Seems to be a wild trend, a worldwide wild trend of animals saying, not me. I'm busting out of here. I don't know. I'm happy for the cow, calf, steer, whatever it was. I'm happy for the bear, too, going to Texas. Yeah, Texas is better than Missouri sucks. I'm sorry for our flicker friend out there from Kansas City, Missouri. But listen, the state sucks. It does. I've been there. Not a good state. To escape to go to, oh, now this is another weird story, but it's not about animals. It's two dudes who escaped jail, went to a IHOP, International House of Pancakes, and got caught. Got turned in by pancake eaters, breakfast eaters in Virginia. Imagine that. You bust out of jail. Well, they had money to go to IHOP. Good for them. But your first thing is, let's get some pancakes. I would say let's get the fuck out of the state. But that's just me. Uh, I'm reading from weird, odd news stuff now. BuzzFeed has a story about things that people said they would never do when they were a kid and ended up doing anyway. And it is the tamest clickbait I've ever seen. Like people said, I said I'd never get married, and I did. Or I said I'd never lose touch with my friends, and I did. It's like, what does stupid kids say that they actually believe should be the title, the headline there. But a clickbait. Things people said they would never do, but did anyway. Bird watching. Bird watching is on the list. That's so tame, lame. It's just a shame. I'm a rhyming lame-o. Anyway, what made Beethoven sick? DNA from his hair offers clue. We still have Beethoven's hair. Somebody's holding on to Beethoven's hair. News to me. Anyway, nearly 200 years ago, after Ludwig von Beethoven, you know, it got me laughing at myself because I don't know the difference between Beethoven and Mozart. Ludwig von Beethoven's death, researchers pulled DNA from strands of his hair. Would they dig him up? Searching for clues about health problems. I think 200 years is a little late to be doing an autopsy or trying to find out what killed it. Gee, what killed him? 200 years ago, who gives a shit? They weren't able to crack the case of the German composer's deafness or severe stomach ailments, but they did find a genetic risk for liver disease. Do you think? What were they? They were drinking. What is this stuff? Can't think of the name of it. Sounds like azimuth, something like that. Uh, what is that drink? It's like alcohol, but a lot stronger, and it's like poison. Get out of my face! I'm trying to read here. Uh, Liver disease damaging hepatitis B infection in the last months of his life. So that's what he died from. But yeah, I mean, you're digging a guy up to find out what killed him now, 200 years after he. Why? What difference does it make? And he was probably. I just lost what I was looking at. He was probably a drunk. Most people were drunks. Most people were. I mean, they drank all day. I can't think. What is that? I'm like a very senile old man here. Absinthe. Absinthe. Is that what it's called? Probably spelling it wrong. No, maybe I'm spelling it right. Absinthe? No. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. If you can help me in the chat room there, let me know. That weird shit they used to drink that was much worse than alcohol. Something with an A. Absinthe. I think it's something like that. I feel very dumb right now because my cognitive dissonance is showing. My cognitive impair is showing. My cognitive decline is showing. I'm sorry. It's Friday. I haven't had enough sleep. And it's going to be a very long day. Let me tell you about my day. I got to take care of a bunch of crybaby, wannabe podcast stars who are uncertain about making decisions about launching podcasts and stuff that doesn't really matter. Listen, you're not going to be, absent. Thank you, Jeremy. That's what I was thought it was called, but for some reason, uh, I don't know. I was losing it, and I thought it had a Y in it, but absinthe. Okay. Uh, so that's probably what Beethoven was drinking. I would think a lot of people were drinking that shit in Europe in those days. Where was I? My day today. So I have to deal with these prima donna podcasters who are dragging their feet about what to launch dates and frequency of launch and launch times, thinking any of that shit matters. The thing is to get it out there, to start, to get it rolling, and then trial by error, and you adjust and you see what's working and what's not working. But if you take forever making these decisions, thinking or expecting with the first time this is news for a lot of podcasters out there, podcast or wannabes. First of all, we don't need any more podcasts. We have it. We have the only podcast you're ever going to need. This one, and maybe Joe Rogan. Maybe, not necessarily, but that's all you really need. No, but there are plenty of them. But okay, so we don't need one, but you're going to do one anyway. The thing you ought to know is nobody's going to listen. Your first episode you put out there, you'll be lucky if you get 100 listeners. 100. You'll be really lucky on your first one. But you'll see what works and what doesn't work, and you make adjustments from there. You don't plan on. I know podcasting is not and I know a lot of people obsessed with planning it. Oh, I gotta book and record it and pre-edit and edit out all the ums and ahs and get anal retentive about shit that nobody cares about. This is not radio, as much as like we are on Live 365 Radio and iHeartRadio. But this is not radio. This is podcasting. And the rules are different here. It's not television, although we're on MindDog TV and Roku and YouTube and every other friggin' video streaming platform. We're on Kick now. Hello to Kick people. Are we still on Govs, by the way? I got to figure this out, whether we're still on Govs or not. I don't know if we are. I know they were having problems with our feed. Never heard back from them. I don't see Govs even still in my overlays thing. Either Carl removed it or I removed it. I don't know why I would remove it, but it's gone. So, Governor's Podcast. We don't have a guest, by the way, if you haven't figured it out yet. I have no guest for today. I was telling you about my day. So I'm going to deal with the podcasters this morning. And then I have a couple of social media people who need help. A tribute band that needs help with their website. Then I have to go to an episode of Tasting New York and direct a shoot at a restaurant this afternoon. Then I have to get to an early gig in a restaurant that I've played too many times in the last month, and it's gone well. Look at Billy Bouquet. What's with the bouquet?
Oh, I think I put that on there when I was on I was on another podcast and they wanted to talk about me robbing a flower shop, so I put Billy Bouquet on there.
Oh, was that Carl's thing, or were you on like some?
Yeah, you know what it was.
Lowry?
Yep. Yeah, no, I was on the last rides with Carl. That's what it was.
Because it seemed to me maybe you were on like some secret flower association thing that you're, I don't know, maybe secretly a fan of daffodils or something. I don't know.
Right. I do like to tiptoe through the tulips.
So I was telling people about my day. So I got a long day. It's one of the longest days. It's like not the longest day, not like D-Day, but it's a long day. And I'm too old for long days. I should just be laying down, sleeping. That's what I want to do.
Right.
You excited about your gig tonight?
I'm super excited. I'm almost equally excited for the drive to Fargo because me and Preston are driving up to Fargo together today. And so that'll be a lot of fun also. That's, to me, I love traveling with another comedian because it's ridiculousness the whole way. Usually,
I know that's what JT said. I would like that too. Anytime I was ever on the road, it was usually by myself. Even though I was in a band, and the band was going to we were coming from different places in the country to get to gigs.
Right.
So it wasn't, it wasn't the buddy traveling, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid type of thing. which I think I would think that would be cool. That's what makes it fun. My
Yeah.
friends just got a tour bus, and that's something I wanted to do my whole life, is
Right.
be in a tour bus. I never had the tour bus experience. That
Yeah.
would be fun. Maybe, because the band I almost did it with was a 13-piece band. I think we would have killed each other if we would have actually. I bought the bus, and then the band fell apart. But
Oh no.
yeah. So, what time are you driving up there?
I think we're gonna leave. He said we're gonna leave at like 1. So yeah.
And then and the gig starts at what, like 8?
I think the doors. I think the doors are probably at 6, and the show's at 7. I'd have to look on the. I'd have to look on the thing. I'm not even sure, to be honest. I
You
just
know,
show up when they. You know.
yeah. Well, I would be a little bit nervous if this is what I would. I was just talking about podcasters who fucking become anal retentive with a gig, especially a gig I haven't played. I would want to get, and it's in a city 4 hours away, 3.5 hours away. I'd want to get there early and just relax and chill and know, get my bearings on the town before I have to go to the gig.
Right. Well, and I think that's why we're leaving as early as we are. I mean, it's only like a 4 or 5 hour trip, so I think we're probably going, checking in the hotel, and then going to the venue.
Right. Jeremy Doc Peterson, one of my comedians, told a story on stage last night about how we all got pulled over. Road stories are great. Now, I have had that experience with the Cult. When I worked for the Cult, I hired my friend Frank to come with me as a assistant on the road, because I would be doing audio video work for the Cult, and I would drive a van all over the country. Sometimes we'd go international, but so we've had that experience. And I think I told a story about getting pulled over in Kansas, doing 90 in a 50, where Frank was smoking weed like unbelievable. Like the entire van was fucking filled with pot smoke. And I would drive it, and the cop comes over to my window, and I'm like, "What do I do? Like, eat the weed." And we roll down. I roll down the window, and the guy gets hit with all the pot smoke you can imagine. And he told me, basically, you're doing 90, and you were doing 40 miles an hour over the speed limit.
That can actually get you arrested and immediately an immediate revocation of your license. Like they'll take it right from you.
He gave
They
me a
can.
written warning with
That's
out-of-state plates. He gave me it looked like a ticket, but it wasn't a ticket. You don't have to pay it. It's just a written
Right.
warning. Have a great day. After
I mean, probably just wanted you to get out of the state.
probably we were on our way out of the state. I think I
Yeah.
told him the story about where we were going anyway. That same trip, we're in a Ryder van full of electronic equipment and stuff. And the Timothy McVeigh trial is just getting underway in Oklahoma City.
Oh, sure.
No, it was in Denver. It was in Denver. So, and we had to drive right past the courthouse. I didn't know we were driving right past the courthouse, but the way we went right past the courthouse, and there were police stops in the whole way. So we had like a pretty much a strip down. Basically, They stop you and they check in, see what it's about. Here comes a Ryder truck after Timothy McVeigh just blew up the building in Oklahoma City with the Ryder truck, and they see me coming. They're like, this doesn't look too suspicious. A couple of guys in a Ryder truck, and again, this is like 1995, 94. No, it's later than that, 77, 97 or something like that. Anyway, just reeking of weed and stuff. So they took us out and they, searched the van. Packed. We were there for hours while they looked through everything, and then they just let us go. But so I've had that experience of driving around buddy in a van, but there's never in that kind of show business. The Cult was show business.
Right.
Anyway. So you don't even know how many minutes. You don't care how many minutes.
No, I'm doing. He said to do like 20 to 30 tonight. So,
have you even checked out the club online or looked at? Is it a club or a theater or what is it?
It's a club. It's Boston's Comedy Club in Fargo. They have 3 locations now. They have one in and so the one that used to be in Sioux Falls is now in T, which is like a suburb of Sioux Falls. And and I know that probably offends you that I use the word suburb
It
in
did kind
reference to Sioux Falls. Um,
yeah,
but
it kind of did bring my antenna up. What do you mean suburb? How could they have a
right,
suburb?
right. But I mean, in a technical sense, that's what it is. It's an outlying city to the major metropolis that that South Dakota considers a major metropolis. Anyway, um, but so there's a bosses in T now, and there's a bosses in Fargo, and I believe there's a bosses in Rapid City, South Dakota. Which I mean, they're super offensive. They put city right in their name, and
Wow, unbelievable. Do you get a lot of natives?
there is a larger native population here in South Dakota for sure. The Sioux Nation is pretty strong here.
Do they come out
Uh,
to comedy clubs? Yeah,
oh, for sure, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I know some native cats. I always try and get some people I know to come to the show, and I know plenty of native folks. Um,
I'm gonna get myself in trouble here because I sound like a bigot, like I'm generalizing. But in New Mexico, the native people I knew, they were fine with me or white people one on one, but they did not like being around more than like groups of white people. And you could understand given the history, but they were really, they one on one they were fine normal with you, but if you had a group, that's when they became and reverse racist, racism against white people, like hating white people when they see them in a group, and not that it's not justified, but it was just weird. Like we were fine as long as it was just me. If it was me and a couple of my buddies, all of a sudden you're the white guys. It was very
right.
weird. So I wouldn't. That's why it's surprising to me that they would come out to a comedy club in a room full of white people. How about black people? Are there black people in the Dakotas?
I mean, of course, yeah, of course. There,
Well, you say
it's
no in Iowa. When you grew up, there were no black people, right?
well, we're okay. So to be fair, like the town I grew up in, there was no black people, but like there was a town like maybe about an hour or so from where I lived named Storm Lake, Iowa, and for some reason that had like quite a significant black population. So like it was just like, and if you go out east like towards Des Moines and like Iowa City and stuff like that, then you're definitely going to run into more minorities. But like when you're talking about the rural areas of Iowa, it's all fucking white. Like
Wow,
every motherfucker is just a lily white motherfucker.
wow, weird. Now, what about Hispanics? Are there
Um,
Hispanic?
so and so this is gonna sound messed up, but the first time I met somebody that was Hispanic, my our town was building a new bean plant, and and so there was like some major construction going on, and so like there was temporarily a bunch of Mexicans came to town and built the bean plant. And I know that sounds racist as fuck. But that's
No,
exactly what happened.
yeah, you could just flip that around and say, the meatball place opened up, and all of a sudden, all these
All the
Italians.
Italians came, yeah. Like it was, yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
wow.
so ridiculous. I actually, oh my god. So the guy that was in charge of that build, he had a daughter that was in my class because it was my sophomore year in high school, and he had a daughter that was in that class, and they were from Florida, and this was actually one of the craziest experiences of my adolescence. So me and this girl like hung out one night, and then I walked her home, which and then she invited me to come inside, and it was already late, but she invited me to come inside, and I was already a pretty highly sexual person at this time. So like, her dad's there, he's sleeping, but she invites me in, and and we're doing our thing. We end up having sex and everything, and I'm there for a while, and it's like 3 in the morning, and her dad's alarm starts going off, and so I like flip. I'm super freaking nervous, like, oh dude, I'm about to get caught in here by her dad. This is super bad, you know And she's telling me, calm down, don't be nervous. You know, like he's just getting up for work. Don't even worry about it. He won't come in here. And then, like a couple minutes later, there's a couple raps on the door, and then he just opens it, and like he sees me, like right there, and like instead of like going into full throttle freak out, he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you had company," and he leaves the room. He shut the door and left the room. And I
Wow.
look at this girl like, "What the hell just happened?" She's like, "No, he's cool. He doesn't care. Like, don't even worry about it." And I'm
Wow.
just like, I'm in bed with his 15-year-old daughter. I
Whoa.
mean, I was also 15, so I mean,
Uh, uh,
like I'm sure he cares a little bit. You know what I mean? And but then he comes back to the door. He doesn't open it, but he comes back to the door and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna make some breakfast. Does your friend want any?" And she looks at me. She's like, "Do you want some breakfast?" And I'm like, "Are you being serious right now?" And she's like, "No, he'll make you breakfast."
I
And I
had
was like,
breakfast. He saw me eating breakfast.
right, right. So I'm like, fuck it, sure, why not? Let's get some eggs while we're here. You know what I mean? And so he hollers a couple minutes later, the breakfast is ready. We both like get dressed and come out, and I'm sitting at this table of a trailer house, of course, and I'm just waiting for the gun to come out. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing I'm expecting is that I'm not really gonna make it out of this house. Like I'm about to get shot by a father.
Right.
And then he doesn't say anything. He eats his breakfast, he says his goodbyes, and he leaves. And she looks right at me and she's like, "So do you want to smoke some of this weed?" I'm like, what in the fuck world am I living in? Like
It sounds like a good situation. No, I've
it was, yeah, it was crazy. It was fabulous.
that brings it reminds me of a couple of incidents in my youth. First of all, in Clovis, New Mexico, I was 18 and the girl was 16. So I guess I was technically breaking the law. But she asked me to come to dinner at her house. I had dinner with her family, and then she goes, "Would you want to come back and take a bath with me?" And I look at her father and her mother, and they like weren't even phased by that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go get in the bathtub with you, and that was one. But another one. This is I'm not going to tell this when Erica Rhodes is on the on the program, but the club that she's playing next week, the Brokerage, used to be not just a comedy club; it was more of a jazz club that sometimes had comedy there. And back in the day, my drummer had a Toyota truck, one of these small little Toyota pickup trucks that was, it was a small, like a mini pickup truck. And
Right.
we were going there. We were going to check out a sax player who was playing there. And so we were going there. We're driving down the road, and there's this girl hitchhiking. And she's kind of hot looking. And I see her hitchhiking. I said, pull over. And now we're in this tiny little pickup truck. She's got to get in it. And I see as we pull over, she goes from being like excited to pissed off. Like, oh, dude's picking me up. Like, what do you expect? You're out there hitchhiking at night by yourself. You're looking kind of sexy. Dudes are going to pick you up. We pick her up. She gets in the middle and she starts gyrating on the seat like she's horny and stuff. I'm like, wow, that's fucking weird. This girl, first she's mad guys are picking her up. Now she's getting horny. We go, so where you going? I don't care. I'm just looking for a pool table. Now, at that time, it wasn't long after the Jodie Foster movie about getting raped on a pool table had come out. And I don't care. I'm just looking for a pool table. We just kind of looked at each other like, what's going on with this girl? We go to the club. We see the sax player. He's great. And then she goes, we got to find a place that has a pool table. Okay, let's take this girl someplace that has a pool table. She gets there and she's like rubbing herself on the pool table, like getting off on the corner of the pool table. Like she can't. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? Then she's sitting on the pool table and she's going like this at me. So I went over and I started fucking with her. And she goes, get off. Okay. And she kept doing that all night long, like dude, like acting like she wanted to have sex. And the minute somebody would approach her, she would get angry. And that went on for hours and hours. We took her back to my friend's house. We're doing blow, with weed, blow, all this kind of stuff. And she's sitting there and she's doing that over and over again. And he's doing it now. He's coming on to her and she's like, get off me. And then finally, like 2 o'clock in the morning comes and I'm like, girl, you are a case I've never seen before. There's a mental hospital down the road. You should check it out in the morning.
Right.
And I left. I come back at like 7 o'clock in the morning now. I got to pick up my drummer. We're going to the recording studio. I knock on the front door, no answer. I come in. I will just walk in, and his father, who is my age, he's like 65 at the time. I walk in. His father's got the bedroom door open, and he's banging this girl hard, like fuck it. She's screaming. He's got her from behind. The old man, like she was playing this game all night long with guys, 20-year-olds. And then
Right.
she ends up in bed with a 65-year-old going fucking bananas. And I'm like, his old man is fucking, what the hell is going on here? One of the crazy, you know. And,
Oh,
yeah. And
That's-
I don't know how she ever got home or so. But,
yeah.
yeah. So, you know, those things happen.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Families with young girls. I don't know. That one with you, with the you know, dad not really caring and offering you a breakfast. He's either a really cool dude or a really fucked up dude. I don't know how you.
I mean, so I don't know what. It's really weird because like we were in school together. Like she was one of my classmates, but like and I remember hanging out with her like maybe 3 or 4 times before that incident happened. And I don't ever remember hanging out after that happened though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also I think I ran away shortly thereafter, I'm pretty sure also though. So that, and by the time I came back, I think they were gone because the plant was all built.
What am I hearing in the background there? You got cats? What's going
Oh
on?
yeah, no, there is cats in here
They're
somewhere.
squealing or something? It
Maybe.
sounds
Maybe.
that.
Yeah. They sound what?
They sound like they were squealing or something. Like
No, I did.
wasn't sure if it
And
was
now
my
that you
cat,
mentioned it, I did hear a meow a little bit ago. I don't know what the deal is, but
I was reading some of this weird news. Do you ever check out the weird news?
I mean, I try and take in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What weird news are you looking at?
Well, it's AP's weird news feed, and basically, there's a girl 29-year-old woman, who went back to high school posing as a student because she was lonely.
What?
29-year-old woman accused of using false documents to enroll in New Jersey high school as a student and attend some classes for over a 4-day period. She did so because she was lonely and longed to return to her days with friends in school, her lawyer said.
I mean, wouldn't it be more appropriate to like audit some college classes or something?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
why would you enroll in high school again?
Maybe she never went to college and doesn't, you know, she's not an academic. She's just, but
Right.
she has a fondness for her high school days. But 29 to be able to pass, first of all,
Right. That's what I'm like.
Somebody didn't look at her and say, "Yeah, well, you look like a woman."
Right. You look like you should be one of the teachers, or
Doesn't
at
say
least the
how she was
teacher's
found
assistant.
out. Let me see if they talk about how she was caught.
Do they have a picture of her?
No, there's no picture of it. The woman pleaded not guilty Monday to a charge of providing false government document. Oh, that's nothing. That's a fine. Her lawyer said she knows she made a mistake and has applied to enter a pretrial intervention program that eventually could lead to a charge being dismissed. She's due back in court in May. The woman is a South Korean citizen, which might have something to do with why, you know, in Jersey she was able to, you know, they look at, oh, well, maybe she just looks older because she's Asian.
Right.
Woman is a South Korean citizen who came to the United States by herself when she was 16 to attend private boarding school. The lawyer said she graduated from Rutgers University. So I was totally wrong about that in 2019. So, yeah, why didn't she go to Rutgers?
Yeah, I mean, to me, if the reasoning that you're saying you're doing it is that you were lonely and you just, like, I can't imagine why you wouldn't just audit some college classes or something like that and put yourself around age appropriate people. To
Right.
me, I think there's something going on below the surface. I think that maybe she was trying to get herself in a situation where something else could happen.
Without a doubt,
Because
because if she would have done that at Rutgers, there would be no crime whatsoever here because
right,
everybody's over 18.
right. So, I mean, I would really question the intent at that point. You know what I mean?
She
Because you got
wanted
to
to
read
fuck,
between the lines and see that shit.
she wanted to fuck boys, definitely, or girls, children. She wanted the teenagers.
Right.
Uh,
She wanted someone who was more impressionable.
right. African land snails found in luggage at Michigan airport. Si-
That's a customs problem.
yeah, 6 giant African land snails have been found. Now we call them slugs. Land snails have been found in the luggage of a traveler who flew from Michigan, to Michigan from the West African country of Ghana. The mollusks, which is
The
shellfish.
snails. Yeah.
Why does it say mollusk? Which can carry diseases that affect humans, were discovered and seized March 9th. Oh, so this was part of some kind of cyber bioterror plot. I'm going to get people sick. I'm going to bring back these snails to spread disease. That's what I'm thinking. They were caught at Detroit Metropolitan Airport in Romulus. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said on Friday. The man transporting the snails is a resident of Ghana and said they were to be eaten.
I mean,
Giant snails?
some people like that sort of cuisine.
You can get snails here. They sell them, not gigantic ones, not giant ones, but
I heard.
I don't know. It's weird. People are weird, man. But yeah, the girl in she should have went to college. I should go to college. I should go audit some classes just to be around college girls. What do you think?
I mean,
Think I could pass?
as a
No.
college student, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe. I mean, there's all sorts of college
you-
people going back to school. But again, that's why I say, like, it would have been far more appropriate for her to go to some university somewhere and, like, getting your way. That's why I really, really question.
Oh, what happened to Willie? He bopped out. We really
Yeah,
questioned it.
we're back.
See, that's what happens when you really question shit.
Yeah, they try and shut you down right away.
They do.
But we both know that you should question everything.
My babysitter, who babysat me, got her master's degree yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she's 77 years old. She, like, I get it. I would want to go back to school too, but not for the degree. I mean, and not
Well, it's
for,
an
not for the
accomplishment for sure.
What? Yeah,
It's an accomplishment.
Yeah, no, I want to go back to learn stuff, but like, what are you going to do with that? You're not going to apply for. You're way 12 years past retirement age. You're not going to use that degree for a career. Like, I don't really care about the degree at that
But
point.
it may not be. It may not be about a career. It may be about personal achievement. That, like, I saw this through and went all the way to my master.
That's what she said in her social media post yesterday. But I was like, I just keep going. I just keep going to school until I die. If I had somebody paying for college for me, I would do it. That's why when they talk about free tuition and they talk about all these kids taking advantage of it, the people who would be taking advantage of free tuition are the boomers, the grandparents.
The older people.
Me,
sure,
yeah, I would be back in a minute. I'd be back in school tomorrow if it were free tuition.
I mean, Lord knows I could definitely benefit from some, like, marketing classes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And maybe learning more about technology, that would certainly help me.
Yeah. What do you think is the most popular dog breed in America?
Dog breed? I don't know, probably a Labrador.
I would have thought golden retrievers, only probably because social media has targeted me as somebody who loves golden retrievers, and I see videos all day long of golden retrievers. It's
I'm gonna
the
say a Labrador or a Beagle.
how about French bulldog?
Really? Oh, that I love French bulldogs. Those, yeah. I have a
The
friend that breeds bulldogs.
French bulldogs.
I know he does like exotic. He kind of focuses on exotic. And I think they're mainly like American or whatever.
I have a friend who lives near Grants, not in Grants, but near Grants, who breeds dogs, but they're like pit bulls, but they're small pit bulls. I forget what they're called. Not Jack Russells. Jack Russells are small dogs,
Terriers.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
terriers. But
yeah.
it's like that though. It's about the size of a Jack Russell Terrier, but it's a pit bull, and they're supposedly like really strong, like incredibly strong. He said the strength of these dogs is unbelievable. Sent me pictures a while back, but I won't be able to find them. But yeah, so I'm surprised by that French bulldog. I've never known anybody who's had a French bulldog.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that that's the kind of dog that Bunny XO has. That's Jelly Roll's wife. Pretty sure she has a French bulldog.
Adorable in some eyes, deplorable in others. Why would people not like them? The sturdy push faced, perky eared, weary looking, and distinctively droll French bulldog became the nation's prevalent purebred dog last year.
Huh.
Huh.
You know,
Yeah.
that's an interesting thing because Bunny XO is actually I think she's like the #2 rated podcast right now. I wonder if that has any influence on that.
Who?
Bunny XO, she's got the Dumb Blonde podcast.
Oh.
Um, it's Jelly Roll's wife. She used to be a sex worker, but now she just does podcasts and stuff like that.
#2 podcast. Now, I don't know about these charts. I don't trust them. I hear everybody always talking about how Rogan's #1. Turns out, if you do your research through uh, different organizations that chart these things, Rogan is down below the 100th in the world in podcasting.
Really?
Yeah, and the #1 is a true crime podcast, and that doesn't
Hmm.
surprise me. People love that stuff, but
Oh yeah, they gobble it up.
uh,
My wife sure does. She loves all that like true detective stuff and all that kind of all that all any of them shows she'll sit and watch.
top podcast, top 10 podcasts. Let's see. I think
I,
Rogan was 125.
wow.
Yeah.
What list is that? I wonder if it might have been just on one particular platform. That may have been
It was
heard.
one of the ones that one of the people, one of the ones that tracks that for the podcasting industry, like podcast. It was a top one of the industry ones. I'm not finding any of these stuff now. Top 10 podcasts of 22. I want to see the top 100. Top 100 U.S. podcast charts from Apple. This comes from Apple. Now, top one is The Deck Investigates, is a true crime. The Deck
Okay.
Investigates. The Girl in the Blue Mustang is #2. The Daily, it's I guess that's a news one. Crime Junkie, all these crime, like first 4 or so. Huberman Lab is #5. I don't know what that means. Dateline and MSNBC or Dateline NBC. Uh, the Coldest Case in Laramie. The top 10: Morbid, Smartless, Up First. Then Ben Shapiro is 11.
Smartless. Isn't that those are comics, isn't it? I think isn't that
Smartless
3
is
comics?
Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, yeah, and Will Arnett. The guys who
That
were
that's a
uh,
great podcast. I've
what
listened to a
was
couple episodes.
they were on they had a sitcom like Normal People, Regular People, something like that a while ago.
I love Jason Bateman. He's actually one of my favorite actors. I've loved
He,
that dude since the 80s.
he was pretty cool. Back when he was on the Sandy Duncan show as like a Michael J. Fox wise guy kid when he was like
Right.
16, 17. And he was like a Michael J. Fox clone at that time. He was just like
Oh,
the
sure, yeah. Do you remember the movie Teen Wolf 2?
Teen Wolf 2, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Michael J. Fox was in Teen Wolf 1, right? And Jason
Yeah,
Bateman
Michael J. Fox was in the first one, and Jason Bateman was in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's definitely eclipsed Michael J. Fox career-wise now. Two Bears is 16. That's the first. That's the second comedy one on the list. That's number 16. Two Bears. So and they're way above Rogan. Rogan's still not. I'm up to 20. Rogan's still not mentioned. Ramsey. Blah blah blah.
Wow, that's surprising. I wonder
Not
how
to me.
long. I wonder how long that's been true. I
Been
wonder
true
how long he's been slipping.
forever. Long before he got the Spotify deal. Because Conan is number 37. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Dan Beningo from Fox News is number 38. Michelle Obama's Light podcast is 39. The Problem with Jon Stewart is 40. I'm not going to read all these, but some of these are interesting. Yeah, I'm up to 50. Still no Rogan. See, and that's why Rogan is popular around the world. Joe Rogan comes up at 55 today.
Okay.
Jordan Peterson is at 54.
Really?
How about that? How about that? Because Peterson kind of ties his success to Rogan. You know, Rogan putting him on display and people finding out about through Rogan, and now he's hot, one higher than Rogan on the chart. This is Apple. I trust Apple as far as giving me the lowdown of who's really doing well with. But here's the thing. If I go to Spotify, probably Rogan will be number one on Spotify, right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, because they're not paying $110 million for a guy who's coming in 55 on their platform.
Yeah, probably. That's true. That's true.
So these are probably platform-specific numbers, I'm thinking. Dana Carvey's at 64. A lot of them are crime. Man, so many of them are crime. So here's my my advice to anybody getting into podcasting: do a true crime podcast. Because those are top 100.
I mean, we could do some true crime content, probably. I mean, I was in prison. I know a lot of criminals.
Yeah, I know. I've had several guests on and done their true crime podcasts. And those episodes haven't done well for me, but I'm not a specific true crimer.
Right.
There was a day when I was totally into that stuff. The one case I want to, and it's surprising to me that the guests that I have on didn't know about this. I had to go relive the whole thing a couple of times about the Long Island serial killer stuff. To me, that's one of the most intriguing unsolved true crime cases ever. And a lot of people, if you're not here, you don't know about it. You know about it, right? The Long Island serial killer.
Yeah, but I think I've only heard you mention it. Like, I only know about it because I heard you mention it.
Fucking weird. Because it's got so much. It's got prostitutes. It's got the number one. The main suspect was the chief of police, backed up by the DA and the assistant DA, who all three of them went to prison for related charges to the serial murders, but not charged with being the serial killer.
Wow.
So you would think people would know about that one, but no, I guess not. Anyway, I wasn't even going to do a show today because I had.
Well, I'm glad I wanted to pop on because I think I was only on once this week, and you yell at me when I'm only on once a week. I noticed that. I last week I wasn't on until Thursday.
I know.
And you were like, "What the hell? Where you been?
Where you been?"
Yeah,
no, that's not yelling.
No, I'm just joshing you. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Lawmaker arrested for obstructing snowplow. People just got too much. I think I read the one about the cocaine cat a couple of days ago. Cat. Anyway, so yeah, you have a good gig tonight.
We'll be in Fargo.
You're not going to get in any trouble, right? You're not going to drink too much. You're not going to smoke.
No, I don't. I don't drink during shows. Like if I'm doing.
I mean, after the show.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, anymore. Like, I just I made a decision a while back, a few months ago, that I really don't have a desire to get like drunk anymore. Like, I might have one or two socially, but I really don't want to get drunk again. For one, I don't like the way it feels, and I don't like the way that I can tend to behave once I get a few too many in me. Um, I just don't conduct myself in the manner that I would like to. So I'm not gonna. It's just not something and I don't crave it. I don't need it. So it's easier to just not include it in my life. You know what I mean?
I'm playing with a new toy here.
Okay. What toy
Uh,
is that?
it's a layout toy. Oh, here it is. It's my layout toy. Here, look at this. You can, they added this thing where you can do custom layouts. So I did it
Okay.
up on top and bottom instead of left and right here.
Right. And now, could you put a video over there if you
Yeah,
wanted?
you could. Yes, you could. There's a media slot. You can put up to one media slot. Oh, so wait. Oh, that's not it's not edited in the same one. Main layer. Oh, I could do this, right? No, that's all wrong. That's all wrong. Custom layout. Nope. I'll play with it another time. I'll be playing with it all day. That's what I do.
Right. Sit around and play with it. That's what
That's
I like to do. That's how I
yeah.
like to spend my days.
Next week, I'm thinking about taking a week off next week. Next week, I have a lot of comedy shows to go to.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know. I'm thinking of taking some time off. I'm getting burnt again. I feel like I'm getting burnt. You know, Mike Hunt is trending on
Mike Hunt
Mike
or
Hunt.
Mike Hunt?
Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt is trending because in Florida there was some legislator reading off. He had some petition of names of people who were supporting his bill. He was reading names and he's going, some of the people in my jurisdiction, Anita Dick, holding his cock, you know, and he's not noticing that all these
He's
names
not
are set
noticing
up.
that they're bogus ass names.
And he's just reading them like off a piece of paper, and it's got such a serious face on. And people are saying, "How come Mike Hunt didn't make the
I
list?"
I fucking love that shit. To me, I know that stuff is like so cheap, but that's the stuff that just makes me laugh so hard, dude. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm dumb. I don't. I don't know.
I like that too. I had a friend, a bass player, whose name was Mike Hunt, and he left the stage to go pee or something. And this was before what was the movie? Not Porky's or something like that. That's in that. And we're talking about somewhere in the 70s. Something. Bass player leaves the stage, Mike Hunt, and he's not coming back in time. And I'm playing keyboards, and the guitar player's looking at me. He's like, "You should pick up the bass." And I'm panicking. I don't want to because I don't know the songs he's going to play. So I start going over the microphone. Would somebody please look for Mike Hunt? And the guitar player lost his mind. He was like, "His mother's in the crowd." I was like, "She named him Mike Hunt."
She didn't never say it real fast to see how it sounded.
I, I didn't name him Mike Hunt. That's his
Yeah.
name. But he was.
When I was a telemarketer, I used to tell people that my name was Robin Ublind a lot. There was a lot of us on the calling floor that would use Robin Ublind as a name.
Robin Ublind, yeah. My lawyer, do we cheat him and how? But so there, I posted the other day because I got an email from a guy whose name was Jack JackMeoff. Jack me off.
Jack me off. That's great.
But
That's
I think it was real.
That is, see, like there's parents out there that are like that. There's super fucked up parents that will name their kids really fucked up shit like
they'd
that.
have to name him John, and he'd purposely go with Jack just because. So
Right.
he's the culprit in that one, calling himself Jack. I also knew a guy who handed me his card one time. His name was Richard Zucker, but his card said Dick Zucker on it.
Wow.
Zucker.
Yeah.
Dick Zucker. Let's end the show with this kind of a weird conversation here. Parents are afraid of kids getting shot at school.
Yeah, I saw I saw a video the other day of like a safe room that they built into like the corner of the room
Right,
that
the
was
safe room.
actually really kick ass. It's like a bulletproof.
Except for the ceiling tiles that you could climb, you can go.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at least then they got, you know what I mean? Okay. When you're speaking criminality, like especially like a situation like that, I think they're gonna go the easier path. You know what I mean? They're gonna try and find a room that hasn't got it set up yet, rather than spend 10 minutes trying to climb over the top of it. You know what I mean? They're most of the time, I think, because I think in a lot of those situations, you're not really, having that elongated forethought. You know what I mean? You're really more, you're short firing. Like all your decisions are happening right now. You
Right,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm trying to see the percentage wise here, because the thing is, this story that is on the Trace, which is independent journalism, which I think you can generally put a lot more faith in this stuff. A Pew Research Center survey found that kids, and there was a number here. I think it's 63% more likely to be killed by firearms at home than in school. Kids
I
getting
mean,
shot at home. Shot
it's
to
sad that we have that kind of statistic available. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
dude.
absolutely. So this year so far, 188 kids died at home. 88 kids died in school
Wow.
from a shooting at home. Like, so,
But I saw a video just the other day of like like I'm saying this kid's like maybe 3 or 4, and it's got a handgun, and he's just shaking it around like this. And then finally, some adults turned around and saw that he had the fuck, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god! Like, how can people be that goddamn reckless with their fucking guns?
was it
You know?
loaded? Do you know if it was loaded?
I'm not sure if it was loaded, but I would assume it was by the way or the adults reacted. They were like, "Oh shit," and like went and grabbed it from him. But I was just like, "Dude, like I cannot believe that," you know?
Yeah, yeah, no. Um, that's a whole. You see these people who are, and it makes it really hard to get a handle on gun violence when you have people training 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds in the use of firearms. Now, I understand the Second Amendment argument, but I don't think you ever, even, let's say you were in a Waco situation. You don't want the kids involved. You don't want to say, "Oh, we taught Johnny how to use a gun. Now he's a soldier in our army." If
Right,
that's your real concern, you want to take on like authority figures, and that's your honest reason for being a gun nut. You
right,
don't want your kids involved. You want your kids to find a safe room. You want your kids to get in the basement. You don't want to say, "Here, we'll teach you how to use a gun, so if there's a battle, you can be involved."
right,
I mean, I just think common sense is you don't want children involved in gun battles. Yeah,
right. No, I would agree with that. I think that um, you can't look at your kid as another
yeah,
another soldier or whatever. Like, I mean, dude, um taking someone's life is and no matter what the situation is, it's something that's going to affect you forever. Is that really something you want to put on your 10-year-old that
no.
they took? You know what I mean?
You don't
like
want to.
like
You don't
even
even
just
want.
thinking,
Beyond that, I'm not even the long term effects of being psychic effects of being involved in something that you're risking your
right,
kid to get killed at that point. If
sure,
he's in a gun battle, chances are, no matter how good he is, there's somebody on the other side, an adult shooting back. Generally, I don't know. It's crazy to me. So, and you see a lot of these gun nuts. And I call them gun nuts because they are. They get too carried away. They take Christmas photos with mom and dad and every kid, right down to the youngest one, holding rifles, automatic rifles and stuff. It's kind of it's mind-boggling to see that. So you can't even have a real conversation about what we do to solve the problem. Clearly, thoughts and prayers don't work. They don't want any new legislation, nothing, not and you bring up back. Oh, there's already background checks. Well, there's not thorough enough background checks in
Right.
every state and all that kind of stuff. So you can't even have a good faith conversation when you have people who are just like bragging about how their kids are armed to the hilt, and my kid can take out a sniper from a mile
Right,
away.
because people, there's no like, yeah, you're right. There's no talking to people that are already
They just want to
entrenched in
win.
that
They
way.
just want to win
Right,
the debate or whatever. They're not really interested in solutions,
right.
and it really gets to me. It fucking drives me crazy that every time there is a school shooting or a mall shooting or a bar shooting or a church shooting, a synagogue shooting, that they just keep coming back with this thoughts and prayers. Like if you tell me thoughts and prayers one more fucking time,
Right,
obviously
right.
that's not going to ever work. Thoughts and
Yeah,
prayers have never solved any problems as far as society goes.
this is true.
Maybe they'll help you find your keys. But that's about it.
Right.
What is that thing next to you? Is that a bong?
No, it's some sort of it's like a nightlight kind of that has fish in it. It used to be when they because I'm staying with my friend, and when they had their old house, this was actually the nightlight in their kids' room, but now it's down here in the basement.
Oh, you're a basement dweller. Okay.
I do like to dwell in the basement. I like the creepy crawlies.
Huh. So will you be driving past the on your way to Fargo tonight? Will you be driving past that place that has the dark matter reactor going on there?
No, that's on the western side of the state. That's in Leeds, South Dakota. So yeah, that's the other. That's we're gonna be
Wow.
going north.
Anything weird
That's
happen in the it is kind of
I hadn't even been thinking about it. So now that you mentioned it, now I'm gonna be like,
yeah, you got
"Ooh,
to
what
I would
what
my antenna would be up because
yeah,
there's shit going on there.
right, right, yeah. Really, I just want to. I think I should go to Leeds, South Dakota, and see if there's any members of the cast from The Big Bang Theory because they were dark matter
How far
scientists.
is it from where you are now? Like
Oh, I'd say it's probably a 3 or 4 hour
too far
drive from here.
to take a detour, but I would when you
Oh
get back on Sunday, or
yeah.
if you get back, I would tell Preston, let's go check this out. You just take an hour or so, go drive through Leeds, find out what's going on over there, and take a phone and do some interviews
Yo, I
for
would
next week.
imagine. I would imagine it's probably a lot like Area 51. I'll bet you get within a certain distance of it, and they're probably telling you to go the fuck away.
Oh yeah, you're probably right about that.
Yeah. But I do have to hop off here because I gotta
I
get
got it
ready.
too.
I
I
have a
gotta go. I
meeting.
gotta go work. I got a long day ahead of me, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm
Well,
gonna tell
have
people.
have great gigs this weekend, and I shall see you Monday, sir.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. I'm pulling you right there. Boom, he's gone. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna say I didn't even play the commercials again. I'm so in trouble. Anyway, thanks for being here for this nonsense. I'm reading nonsense news. I don't have any guests scheduled for next week. I think Erica is going to be on Thursday or Friday. I don't really know with her. She's hot and cold. Well, women. Hot and cold. Anyway, if I do have any guests next week, that's it so far. I do have a lot of potential guests lined up. I'm just slow on. I'm being lazy and booking people and being like pretty selective too. So, not sure what's going to happen next week, but I'll be here Monday. That's all you need to know. So, stop by then. Thanks for being here today. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your issues with Andy Day, and I'll see you around. Bye for now.
me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen.